On Friday, January 22nd at 12 o'clock p.m., the Archdiocesan Mass for Life will be live-streamed from Holy Name Cathedral. Celebrated by Bishop Kevin Birmingham along with priests from across the Archdiocese of Chicago, it will be held on the anniversary of Roe v. Wade and the eve of the final event of the March for Life Chicago tour. Please join us. The Mass will be live-streamed on the Archdiocesan YouTube channel. For more information and to register to attend, please visit respectlifechicago.com/events.
You're listening to Catholic Chicago on WNDZ 750 AM. Every Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m., the Archdiocese of Chicago presents programming about the people, events, and issues that touch our lives. Thanks for letting us be part of your morning. Now again, Catholic Chicago.
Good morning and welcome to the Voice of Charity. I'm Marie Jochum. Brigid, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, Marie. 2021.
We made it. I cannot actually believe that we are in fact here in 2021. And I just keep saying 2021 has to be better than 2020. But maybe I shouldn't be saying that.
Yeah.
But Happy New Year to all of our listeners of the Voice of Charity and also all of the folks watching us on YouTube this morning. It really is a privilege to kick off another year with you, Brigid, to be able to do this with you, and also with all of our listeners to share connections between service and faith and understand some of the challenges and issues our neighbors and communities face. And how and where and the why behind why we're here and what we do at Charities.
Yeah, well said. Yes, Happy New Year, everyone. Despite the weather today, there are so many things to look forward to, especially with the vaccine. But it's going to be a long time coming. Let's all please maintain our vigilance and care for each other. The next few months will need our prayers and attention to protocols and reaching out to friends and family and maybe even strangers, which is some of what we'll talk about today.
Absolutely.
Marie, tell us about our guest.
I'm so excited to tell you about our guest. You know, we have talked a lot through this past year about the collaborations and connections and partnerships that make Catholic Charities what it is. And our guest today is here to discuss one of those really exciting partnerships. And, you know, we're lucky in Chicago that we have Gibsons, a world-renowned steakhouse restaurants, and really a phenomenal example of compassion in action that this organization represents. So here today we have Kevin Arnold, who's the Director of Training and Development for Gibsons Restaurant Group, which has 3 locations. I learned something new. I didn't realize there were 3 locations: downtown Chicago, Oak Brook, and Rosemont. And for the past 13 years, Gibsons has been opening its doors to celebrate the new year with our Catholic Charities clients. And it's such a wonderful, festive meal. It's free of charge. Our clients get dressed up and excited to come. And Kevin has really been vital to the success each year. Before COVID, BC, I guess we should say,
right.
The meal was physically served at Gibsons. Last year it was in Oak Brook, and it really is, like I said, a lovely afternoon. Guests enjoy a really great meal, as you would expect at Gibsons. And this year, they've been so creative, and they're going to continue providing this meal to hundreds of Catholic Charities seniors by delivering the meals to their homes. And we've talked a lot about the implications of loneliness and isolation, and what a lovely thing for our seniors to open their door to this just exciting meal.
Absolutely. I mean, fine dining at its best brought to your home. Kevin, I promise we're going to get to you, but we got to talk a little bit about Gibsons and about Steve and Peg Lombardo. Gibsons opened in 1989 and was the first classic American steakhouse to be awarded its own USDA certification program. It has won countless culinary awards for its menu and its service, and I think you're going to understand that a little more as we go through our show today. making it a go-to favorite for natives and visitors alike. Gibsons Steakhouses are part of the Gibsons Restaurant Group, and that includes 9 culinary concepts at 14 locations in 4 states. Now, Gibson's owners, Steve and Peg Lombardo, have been long time champions of Catholic Charities and have given of themselves in countless ways. Committees, board of directors, board of advisors, pardon me, and helping in leadership of our St. Nicholas Ball, which is one of our largest fundraisers that Catholic Charities has every year. So we are so grateful for their steadfast support and dedication to neighbors and service, and we're delighted to thank them along with Kevin and hear more about this event.
Absolutely. So Kevin, we're going to finally say welcome to you and let you speak. But might you be able to share with us a little bit of how did this idea come about 13 years ago?
Well, great to be on, by the way. Thank you for having me. It's interesting. You're talking about Peggy and Steve and all they've done for Catholic Charities and the community at large, and something that we've always really been a part of is trying to not just be a restaurant in our community, but be part of the community that we're in. So we're very, we try to help out as much as possible, and they are just the leaders of it all. But it was kind of an interesting thing because we, for many years, when we first opened up, one of the things that the owners, Steve and Hugo, wanted to do were make sure that everybody had the holidays off. And, we very high volume business. We're very, we're just crazy if you've ever been to a Gibsons before. So they wanted to give a kind of a thank you every year to their staff by giving them Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, Thanksgiving, New Year's Day off, and Easter. And they kind of some of the restaurants don't do that anymore, but a lot of them do. And the reason that we decided to this came about was that we had these restaurants that were sitting empty these days. And we knew there were a lot of people out there that could use a great meal that couldn't afford to come to a Gibson's. So we wanted to try to start this tradition of getting people to come, bringing people in and having them have this great meal that they wouldn't normally have, and be generous in that respect and use those restaurants that we're not using. So we started to talk, who we're going to work with, what we're going to work with, and it kind of came naturally because, the relationship between the Lombardos and Catholic Charities was so great already that it just was kind of a no-brainer. We said, we should work with Catholic Charities and see what we can do. And it started off as 100 people. I think we brought in the first time at the Gibsons location downtown. We did a buffet style. It worked pretty well, but as the years evolved, as went by, the program evolved. And we added more people. So I think the second year we did 200 people, 300 the next year. And then we served, we got to 400. And that's kind of where we've been for the last few years. Just trying to, get as many people as we can into the small spaces that we have and try to get as many people to have the experience that they want.
That's incredible. I actually didn't understand that you all kind of made those days special for your staff. I love that so much, that you were giving folks who had just worked so hard throughout the holiday season, the lead up, some time to then go enjoy that with their families, which then allowed all of you to open up the doors to our families. I love that. Yeah, that's just really...
And it's very unusual for the restaurant business because, if you work in the restaurant business, you work holidays. And, But that was something that Steve and Hugo said from the very beginning, and that I thought was very unique.
Yeah, absolutely. We're gonna take a quick break here, and okay, we're not. I'm so sorry.
We're out of practice.
I messed that up. We have 1 week off, and then I'm gonna get fired here. So great, we can keep talking. Can you share with us, over the years, employees have volunteered to come in? So you have that day off, but then you still have employees who show up. Who comes and why?
It kind of turns out to be the same people every year. I think there's certain people that just really have that in them. They want to give back, and they come because they are, I think they're our sense of our values, our core values are hospitality, quality, value, and family. And
those are ours too.
Yes.
Oh, really? Well, that's perfect. It aligns perfectly. Yeah. So the family part, I think, is what really gets us. We really feel that we're part of a family. We take care of our employees, they take care of us, and they are part of the community too. So a lot of them just really feel that this is something that they need to do because it is a part of who we are as a mission, but also as a part of who they are. They wouldn't be attracted to work for our company if they didn't believe in those same things. So a lot of employees come in, but what's interesting to me Yeah. I mean, it's great that the employees do it on a day off, but the locals, the people that are customers that volunteer, we have quite a few every year that volunteer. In fact, this weekend when we have a lot of the drivers are going to be actually our local customers that heard about it, and they got back to me faster than most of my employees did.
Oh.
So, you know,
I mean,
and that
how
I think
extraordinary.
is amazing. Yeah, I mean, you don't really see that kind of that, and they do it because they do it for Gibsons. You know, they do it for Catholic Charities. Because they're loyal to us as well as we are loyal to them.
Since you touched on it, tell us a little bit more about those logistics. So we're going to, I think, is it 8 buildings? And
6 this year.
6 buildings.
Kevin's like, Brigid, do not add 2 more buildings to this.
Yeah.
We are prepared.
And you've got volunteers who are going to be taking hot meals it's this Saturday and Sunday, is that right?
Yeah, this Saturday and Sunday. And actually what we're going to do, because, there's with COVID, we want to try to be as, conscientious of the health of our people and, of the Gibsons volunteers as well as Catholic Charities participants. So we are going to we're going to make all the meals, and they're going to be brought cold to the residences, and then the residents have the microwaves in their rooms, so they can heat it up themselves. So that way, there's very minimal touching, there's very minimal handling. It goes, and it's hot. They can they can make sure it's hot when it gets there. We'll have instructions on how to heat everything up, so it's really easy for them to do, and it's just easier for them as far as the reheating is concerned, but also just safer in general to try to have as little contact as possible.
Right.
And it's also adding dignity to them too. I know we sometimes have meals delivered from other spaces and other events, and you've got to eat it right away because it's hot, right? And so I love that you're actually giving them the opportunity to decide when they want to eat. I think that's amazing.
And we get so much food too that you don't want to try to eat all at once.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah,
I was
the
supposed
restaurants,
to.
like when we have the events, they take stuff home afterwards because they're always leftovers.
Yeah,
Gibsons is known for big portions.
Right, I was going to say.
Make it smaller.
Yeah, I love that. And I'm positive our folks do as well.
Well, tell us. I mean, it's early in the morning, relatively speaking, but tell us what's on the menu. So
we have an awesome rotisserie chicken that we do. So we're going to do a little bit of that for them. We have meatloaf. So a lot of people like that. That's kind of very basic, but our meatloaf is fantastic. So we have some meatloaf. We have the chicken. We'll have mashed potatoes. We'll have a nice vegetable medley for them. We also start off the meal with a couple of shrimp cocktail, and then they have a house salad that they'll have. We'll have some rolls for them, and then we'll have the brownies and cookies for dessert, and then a bottle of water, things like that in there for them. And then we'll also be, not this weekend, but next couple of weeks, delivering different toiletries, accessories, and things like that get donated by some of our people that are in the wholesale business. They donate every year. Leon Carroll and Wells Lamont both they donate gloves, hats, and other little things that that we can give to the elderly as well as the children in the different programs throughout the Catholic Charities Network too.
I mean, anyone having the post-holiday blues is going to be just brought back to life by this. It's so extraordinary and generous. Kevin, we have just over a minute before we have to take a break, but can you start us off tell us a little bit about how you've been able to manage during the pandemic? I'm so struck by the generosity of your doing this in this year when restaurants have been so badly hit and so badly affected by this virus.
It's been a rough year, obviously. We are down in revenue, but it is, we've been actually kind of lucky compared to a lot of the restaurant groups that we've seen, and, we know that, and we want to make sure that we continue to give back because we feel that that's part of the reason that why we are successful is because when when all this hit, our locals didn't want to stop coming. They want to keep coming here, and the reason that they would come is because of the way we take care of them. And we wanted to continue that in all facets that we do. And so that included our charitable networkings. So for us, it is, I know there is costs associated with it, but one of the great things for us is that we have a lot of vendors this year that wanted to pitch in too, because they want to make sure that they've been pitching in for years, and they want to make sure that this goes just as well as the other years that we've had. So we've had a lot of support from people around us that and the reason that we have that support, once again, is because we take care of our vendors as well, and make sure that we're always working with them and giving them the best business that they can get, so they are happy to help us whenever we need help too. So that's how we've been able to really make it happen this year. But even if we didn't have their support, we'd still do it because we believe that this is something that's very important for us as a group and as a family and as a network of Gibsons employees and locals.
And that is a perfect moment to actually take the real break that I tried to take a few minutes ago. We're going to take a break here on The Voice of Charity. When we come back, we're going to continue our conversation with Kevin Arnold and Gibsons. I have to go. There is so much waiting for you at Catholic Charities Senior Services. We offer programs and services to help make the most of every day. Friendships and fun are guaranteed at our drop-in senior centers. Our adult daycare centers offer enjoyment and greater supervision to seniors who need it, while their caregivers get a break. Holy Family Villa provides a beautiful, safe environment for seniors looking for short or long-term residential facility. And we offer assistance with senior benefits, care coordination, congregate and home-delivered meals, hospital transition, and much more. For more than 100 years, we have accompanied seniors through every transition in their lives, and we are here for you now. Catholic Charities is a name and an agency you can trust. Call Senior Services today at 312-655-7700. That's 312-655-7700.
Can't take a bus to the Chicago or National March for Life this year? Not to worry, this year's activities will look a little different, but we will still be marching for the sanctity of life. In partnership with March for Life Chicago, we are bringing the pro-life movement on the road. On Sunday, January 17th, the pro-life movement will come to Mundelein with a drive-in, socially distanced rally at Carmel High School, which will include inspiring speakers, Cardinal Blaise Supich for one. For more information and to register, please visit marchforlifechicago.org/tour. Can't wait to see you there.
Catholic Charities Divine Affair home tasting parties are going virtual. This year marks the 20th anniversary of Divine Affair, the elegant wine tasting event that benefits our self-sufficiency programs. Low-income single parents with dependent children are trying to break the cycle of welfare and poverty. Today, the need is greater than ever as the COVID-19 pandemic has left thousands of newly struggling families in need of immediate assistance. You can easily coordinate a virtual wine tasting and help Catholic Charities at the same time. Each guest will enjoy a sample wine kit that includes wine and a guide, all courtesy of Louis Glenn's Wines. You can gather your friends and family for this fun event or incorporate a celebration for a birthday, anniversary, or engagement at the same time. To learn more about a virtual home tasting party and how you and your guests can win fabulous raffle prizes, call today at 773-756-6937. That's 773-756-6937. Cheers! Good morning and welcome back to The Voice of Charity. This is Marie Jochum.
And Brigid Murphy.
And we are here today speaking with Kevin Arnold, the Director of Training and Development for Gibsons Restaurant Group, talking about really the phenomenal partnership that has been happening for the past 13 years with Gibsons, providing a New Year's Day celebration for our clients. And before we went to the break, we had been talking, Kevin was describing the meal. And I just need to tell you, Kevin, that I was telling Brigid that when you were describing the meal, you started to say bottle of, and I thought you were going to say a bottle of wine. And I was like, well, here's my address for that meal. But literally, this meal sounds almost perfect, but I'm glad we're not distributing wine to our clients.
Yeah.
But, you know, can you what strikes me a lot is, at Charities this year, we've been talking about the message of the face of need is your neighbor and the face of hope is you. And from everything you've described about Gibsons and from this generous gift that you all give to Catholic Charities and our clients, it seems like being good neighbors is also part of your corporate philosophy. Is that accurate? And what are some of the other ways that it gets displayed?
Yes, absolutely, it's accurate. One of the things that we look for when we have our general managers in our different locations is that they are able to connect with the people around them and really bring in, new customers as well as take care of the people who've been coming with us for a long time. So, we are really focused on, trying to really make it so that that people feel that they are coming to a place that is. Hold on one second. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Love it. Real world stuff.
Real world stuff. Well, what you're really describing is so similar to some of Catholic Charities. Like we want, when we open our doors, for folks to be able to step in and feel welcomed. Often that means getting fed, but it definitely means getting greeted, and that hospitality is such a key part of what we do. And I know it's obviously a key part of what you do, but Gibsons really does sound like a very special group.
Well, yeah, and it goes beyond. There's a lot of charitable things that we do in general and in larger formats, but when in the communities themselves, we really do focus on that, getting those people, getting the local, whatever the interest might be locally, what people are doing in that area. I think Naperville is a great example. We have a great GM out there who is involved in everything from the city council to charitable, the house out there that they have for people who are transition. So there's a lot of things that there's a lot of opportunities, and we're always looking for those opportunities in our community to put ourselves out there, but to support the community more importantly, so that they really recognize that we're going to be there to stay. I mean, if you look at it, Gibsons has been in the Gold Coast for 30 years, and all of our other locations, I mean, Rosemont for 20 years. We've been in, Oakbrook for 10. When we're there for good. We haven't closed a single restaurant, knock on wood, and even in the last year, and that's because the community knows that we're there, and we make sure they know we're there. So when the hard times come, we're supported by them, and they know we're going to support them when the good times come too.
Yeah, and we're going to get in just a second to how we can make a more concerted effort to help area restaurants. Mm-hmm. But I'm curious, since you do training and development, I'm curious how you train or identify staff. When it's such a values-based culture that you have, and you exude it so well. Even just on the radio, we can't see your face, but what do you look for in staff, or how do you train to that?
It's personality. That's the one thing that we look for. Steve Lombardo, our owner, he when I started, he's from the very beginning said, they may have a great resume. They may have, tons of experience, but if you can't look at them and they can't start a conversation with you, and they can't keep a conversation and show that they care about the customers, then there's no point in having them work for us, because they're not going to, you can teach people the skills that they need to do the job, but you can't teach them personality. So if their personality is not somebody who's going to fit in with our values, then we can't hire them. And that's difficult to do, because, interviews, everybody turns it on. So when you're sitting there with an interview with somebody, you really have to go into it and really start asking them questions and really putting them on the spot to try to find out how do they react to customer situations. And, the way we react to customer situations is way different than a lot of other restaurant groups out there. So, we are very proud that we are customer driven. We are always out there for the customer. No matter what, and we will do whatever we need to make the customer happy. Our mission is that every customer leaves happy from our restaurants. Yeah, that's really hard to do, but when you do it, you're right. It's obviously very successful, and you just need to find the right people. And that means that you're going to hire the wrong people sometimes, and then and typically those people actually leave, because after a while they find out that the way we run things is not the way that they're used to doing it, and so it kind of works out that way. We don't have to go around firing everybody. People come in, they see our culture, they may not be right for them, and they move on to something else. But the people who do stay for years, and that's why we've had servers there for 30 years.
It's just incredible. I do, two segues here. I mean, Gibsons is for some people it might be a regular spot, certainly, but it's also a special occasion kind of place, which means the service in particular needs to be so spot on, right? It's an anniversary, it's a promotion, it's a graduation, a birthday, and so the service you're talking about becomes that much more important. So I guess that's one observation. And then I'm curious about how the holidays were for you, because that's also a big time. People might take their staff to Gibsons for a special lunch or a special dinner. What were you able to do this year? Did people order takeout? What did that look like?
Well, we have become experts at carryout and delivery. We partnered with DoorDash this year, and so we've been able to really utilize that, and that's helped us a lot. I think one of the things we have a hugely creative culinary team and marketing team that have been working very, very hard, especially on social media, trying to get people to come and do the carryout. We did a lot of packages this year, for the holidays. So, party of, for a party of four, the works, and at a great deal. We have a lot of the cocktails that you can get for carryout as well. So we really changed it up a little bit. We had to really be creative on how we can, different revenue sources, as a lot of restaurants have. And I think it's going to be something that we can carry into the future, because honestly, we weren't great at carryout before, because we're so, direct, and we're so service oriented that carryout is like, well, we can't serve you it, so what is, it's not as important. But as this year came along, it was very important. And when you mentioned service too, I want to point out something that, service does need to be spot on. But one of the things about service that we look at it is that service is what you do and hospitality is what you feel. And so if you can make people feel good and you mess up on service in certain points, people will forgive you for that.
Yeah.
But if you don't show that you care about the customer and you make mistakes, then that's when people don't come back to your restaurant. So that's the differentiator for us, is that we are so customer focused that when we mess up, we are going to keep on trying to make you happy until you walk out with that smile on your face. And that's what's been coming back to us in good measure.
Kevin, I'm really, really struck by, just thinking about the impact of this past year on restaurants and local businesses in general, and the fact that all of that was happening, and yet Gibson still said, no, we are doing this meal for your seniors. And I mean, I'm like overcome with that generosity is truly remarkable. So how can we help you all, right? So, how is it helpful for our listeners to be supportive of places like Gibson's and other Chicago area restaurants? Like, what is the helpful thing for us to be doing? Is it buying gift cards? I heard that somewhere. Or is it getting takeout constantly? Like, how can we be supportive during this time?
Those are both great options. Gift cards, obviously, when you buy a gift card, we get the revenue immediately. So that helps us out now, and then people use it down the road, because obviously it's difficult to use right now. You can't go to restaurants as much. But that's a great way to go. But definitely order carry-out, order, takeout food, and tip generously. Honestly, I don't get tips. I'm not saying that for me.
Right.
But for the people who are working there, because they're struggling, and they're, these are people that are used to making, twice as much probably as they are right now. And of course we have unemployment benefits that can help with that. But that the best way to do it is just keep business going there. So go there, get carry out. We are about. I can't think of anybody who has the sanitation standards we have right now, especially with COVID. So you are safe to go and do that, and we will make sure that you do it. We also have some great options for outdoor dining still. Honestly, it's kind of strange, but we've done a lot of things to make it so that people can still be outdoors comfortably and still avoid, hopefully, catching anything. So, if you do feel comfortable with that, if you are in the category that feels that you can go out to eat, we do have outdoor options available, as do most restaurants. Obviously, it's a little cold, but we have heaters everywhere, and we have tents, and we are doing everything we can to make it so it's comfortable for people at the restaurants too.
That's fantastic, and I know I'm a big cook, but I have dedicated 2 days a week to trying to order meals to go, and you don't always have to get the most expensive thing on the menu, right? Get that shrimp cocktail to go.
Yeah, whatever it is, just something.
Yeah.
We just need it. And we do have our steaks are available online now. You can actually get them shipped to your house.
Okay.
So if you go to Gibsonsteak.com, you can go there, and they are cryovac so that they can sit in your refrigerator for a couple weeks if you needed to. But they are our Gibson's quality steaks that you can have at your house, and our seasoning salts and all sorts of. We got burgers on sale, all that kind of stuff. So you can go online for that too.
Kevin, the Gibson story and your telling of it is just one of extraordinary generosity, and we are so grateful at Catholic Charities. We encourage all of our listeners to place an order for tonight or this weekend, but thank you for everything that you do in support of the mission of Catholic Charities, and thank you for coming on The Voice of Charity. Next time we'll do it live from Gibson's. That'll be great.
I love it.
So we invite all of our listeners back again next Tuesday to hear about about our food program and how it's helping many of our clients reach employment goals. For now, this is Marie Jochum
and Brigid Murphy,
wishing everyone a safe, healthy, and very happy New Year from all of us at Catholic Charities.